Hello everyone, my name is Andrew.
And my name's Scott.
And welcome back to another lovely little episode
Welcome back, everyone.
to
Hello,
Beaven
and
and Wright.
Beaven and Wright.
Beaven and Wright. Gonna get it right with Beaven and Wright. We put the world to rights with
We
Beaven
need a
and
jingle.
Wright.
Oh my god, we should so do that properly.
If someone could put a jingle together,
Yeah.
that'd be great. I'm happy to provide the vocals. I am Celine Dion, in disguise. Scott, it's been we're recording this on Friday the 26th of July 2024.
Olympic ceremony in full flow.
Right now.
As we speak.
Literally, it's flowing and it's Olympicking.
I'm
right
buzzing
now.
for the Olympics, by the way.
Okay, this is maybe a
I
bad
know.
thing. I don't really watch the
Doesn't know
Olympics
about
that
other
much.
sports.
So that doesn't really bother me.
Other sports are... I like other sports.
Yeah, I mean, I like to play other sports. I just don't watch other sports. I think
do.
that's more the problem.
Big
Scott,
Olympics fan.
break down the Olympics in a few paragraphs.
Mate, it's like the greatest sporting event. Happens once every 4 years. Almost every sport conceivable, contested by every nation conceivable. Even the smallest nations will have athletes going to the Olympics.
Yeah,
they have their own heroes. I love it. I just think it's, from the biggest event, the 100-meter final, the relays, unbelievable, to even the events you've never heard of before, to the archery, the breakdancing, the kayaking, the beach volleyball. It is the best. I love the Olympics. I will sit here for the next 2 weeks and just watch on my TV some of the most rogue sports you've ever imagined. Equestrian. Horses like prancing around, love it. So good, mate. So good. I feel like you just get behind your nation. Anyone who puts that GB top on, I'm backing them. Yeah. I've never heard of them before, but I'm fully in for 2 weeks. I think it's the greatest sporting spectacle in the world. And yeah, I love it. Every part of it is amazing. Everything about it inspires kids to go and play sport.
It does.
Which I think we should be encouraging nowadays.
Well,
with tablets and phones and computer games everywhere.
I think sports are encouraged, generally.
Yeah, but I see... In my job, I get to see a lot of kids firsthand. Some of them brand new attempting sports. I'm a golf coach. I'm a golf professional. I teach lots of kids to play golf. Lots of adults as well. But the kids coming in, especially the sort of 10, 11-year-olds, they just want to sit on their phone the whole time. I'm trying to engage with these guys to learn a sport, and you get some of them just come in and they just won't put phones down. They just won't. And these are like little kids as well. They're not even, 15, 16, I'd be like, fine, yeah. But I've had under 10-year-olds come in with iPhones that are way better than my iPhone, and I'm like, what are you doing? And they just sit there on it the whole time. So, yeah, if we can put more sports on TV and get these kids involved in sports outside of, schools as well, I just think the world needs that. Yeah. The country needs it. Kids need it. Yeah. They just need to be outside running around and doing things.
Yeah, I agree. I that is generally one thing I hate about the generation. Well, it's now after me, I guess, right? Is that technically, I'm only 24, but that's the generation now after me. Is that's 20 years difference. Is I don't get me wrong. I'm on screens a lot, but I can also live without it, and I think that's important. I can live in the moment and really enjoy some my favorite times I've had this year have been at festivals when I've not had my phone, and I don't even take videos of them at them anymore. I just want to enjoy my moment there, being there with my friends. And I think that's this next generation is going to find it very hard to concentrate at any real jobs or any real things.
You know what? I find one of the saddest things is I was watching Glastonbury on TV a couple of weeks ago. One of the saddest things is everyone is just stood there, phone in hand, not even actually watching or enjoying it, but just trying to video something so they can show someone else. And it's sad.
To record a whole performance. I've seen people sit there literally every song get their phone out and start recording. It's just I get the odd one because you want to have memories from it, so you record it for the memory.
I went to an AC/DC concert at Wembley Stadium, and the crowd was slightly older. I hardly saw a phone. I had a phone out for 30 seconds to video my favourite song, and the rest of the time, hardly anyone. Everyone was there, loving it, rocking out. And there were hardly any phones. And then you go on Glastonbury, younger audience, obviously, and everyone's just watching stuff through a screen the whole time when it's literally right in front of you. And I am worried about younger generations and especially sport, because I'm a big sports guy. I love sports, football especially, but everything. I love sports, and I do worry about kids not being involved in sports and not, sports deteriorating in general. Less people taking part, grassroots closing down. There not being enough things, swimming pools closing. We've had a few in Reading which have closed recently, and I worry about the state. What are my kids going to grow up to? They're not going to have any football teams to join. They're not going to have any cricket teams to play in. They're not going to have any golf courses to play on. There's going to be no public facilities to go and play like I did when I was a kid. Yeah, I don't know. That's a worry for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, I have a different perspective because I don't have kids. So maybe I'm a bit more in that generation than you are.
No, you're young. He's 24. It's fine. But I have kids when I was 24.
Yeah, I'm definitely having kids at 24. No, well, got to find some stuff for kids first. But no, I think there's a genuine worry for this, the kids coming up, and we do have to be conscious of getting people away from screens, because it's going to be damaging, so long-term damaging for a lot of people. Like the reason why things like TikTok and short form content's got so big is because of how no one has an attention span anymore.
10 seconds, isn't it? And then you flick to the next one.
Because no one has an attention span anymore. To get to a minute, you have to have felt like you've achieved something. And even I find myself struggling sometimes to concentrate for longer than a minute. And I'm generally somebody who's pretty focused in what I'm doing. But yeah, it's an interesting thought. I'm going to raise a controversial sport that I want in the Olympics, just because I'm biased.
Talk to me.
Darts. I want darts to be an Olympic sport. I want to see some random country that clearly don't have very good darts players playing darts just against really good people. There are so many sports in the Olympics that I think are a bit questionable, and I'm like, why can't darts be in there? Get it in there, just for me. Thanks.
I don't mind that shout.
Yeah.
So I have a thing with sports in the Olympics. I love the Olympics. I think the Olympics should be the pinnacle of that sport, of said sport. So, for example, football, the World Cup is the pinnacle.
Yeah.
So, I don't think football should be in the Olympics. Maybe you could put a case forward for 6-a-side, 5-a-side, whatever, to be in the Olympics. Different sport.
Yeah.
Like Sevens rugby. Big fan of Sevens rugby in the Olympics. I spoke to Sevens players, I've taught a couple of players, and their pinnacle is the Olympics. They train for the Olympics. They play in the Olympics. I'm not a fan of golf being in the Olympics, to be honest with you, because
it's a slow sport for the Olympics, I think.
Nothing to do with that. If you ask a golfer, they want to play in the Ryder Cup. They want to win a major. Very rarely does a golfer come out and say, I want to win the Olympics, unless they are actually in the Olympics at the time. So the Olympics is not the pinnacle of golf. It's not the pinnacle of football. It's not the pinnacle of, I don't know any other sports, I can't remember. But I don't
tennis.
want. Oh, tennis. That's the one I was thinking of. Tennis is not the pinnacle.
No,
of
Wimbledon is.
Wimbledon,
Masters,
US
Opens,
Open,
yeah.
Aussie Open, French. But they would want to win it, a Grand Slam, right? A major title. So same for golf. I just don't think those sports should be in the Olympics because it's kind of like a second-rate thing for them. They're not that fussed about it. Oh, maybe I'll go, maybe I won't. So I think it takes away from the Olympic experience. Those Olympians, literally once every 4 years is their time to shine. That's what they train for. That's what they live for. They might only have 2 opportunities in their lifetime
to get there,
to get to an Olympics. 3 maybe.
Yeah.
If you're a sprinter, possibly 3 is the absolute most.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're an athlete that's a high impact, high injury sport. Fair enough, some of the others you can go on for years and years. But yeah, I want the Olympics to be the pinnacle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the football being in the Olympics. I'll be honest with you. I don't really.
It just feels a bit odd because the squads that get put out are not, for example,
23, isn't it?
For example, you had the Copa America going on at the same time that the Argentinians are playing in the Olympics, and you've got you're basically, and the Olympics team gets the scraps if whoever didn't get into the national team, and it's like if football took it seriously,
it's under 23s as well, right?
Mostly, yeah,
and a couple of older players.
Yeah. If it took it seriously, then I think it should be in there.
No, I don't, because I still think the World Cup is the pinnacle.
Yeah, but maybe that's.
I still think the World Cup is
maybe
the
that's
one,
why the argument for the players who probably wouldn't make those World Cup squads, it's for them. Yeah.
No, I don't like it. I
Fair.
don't like
Well,
it.
I'm still campaigning that darts should be in the Olympic sport.
Yeah, but would the Olympics be the pinnacle of darts? It could be.
I think it would be level with it. I think
I don't
because
think it would be far
it's the
off.
because realistically darts, the world match play is the pinnacle.
Well, the World
of darts.
Championship at Christmas, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is the pinnacle.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's the world match play. That is like.
But would an Olympic gold medal? I wonder if you asked a darts player, would the Olympic gold medal be more sought after once every 4 years?
But I think so. But like, you think about it, like the amount of people that would get an opportunity to like play for their country. Like Luke Humphries, for example, was obviously smashing it right now. He just won the world. He just won another world tour champion. It wasn't the main one, but he won the what I can't remember which one this called now. He just won that against Michael van Gogh. Like, if you said to him, oh, yeah, but you could also get to compete in the Olympics, I guarantee that'd be a lot more of an incentive. Like, Luke Littler would be all over that. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree. And I'm not, I don't mind. So I did a lot of long drive when I was a bit younger. So long drive golf. And we always wanted that to go in the Olympics. We have a world championships that's held in America every year. But long drive would be amazing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
That would be then the pinnacle of the sport.
Yeah.
Rather than the world champs, which is basically just in America every year. Mm-hmm. It's not actually a world championship. You get like 6 Europeans go.
Yeah.
And a couple of guys from Japan. But yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So not, I don't say smaller sports, but just sports that really treat the Olympics as
the pinnacle.
The pinnacle. That has to be the thing that people train for.
Yeah.
Every 4 years, that's your chance to shine. I get they have world championships and they have European championships, Commonwealth games and stuff like that. But
Winter Olympics.
Realistically, the Olympics is the one, right?
Yeah.
The Olympics
is
the one.
Well, for a sprinter, yeah, the Olympics.
For a
is the main
swimmer,
thing.
for a sprinter, for a rower, javelin, yeah,
shot put.
But sports like that,
bowling.
I'm sure that like the rowers and the field hockey guys and the judo guys and the wrestlers and the taekwondo, and they all want to win Olympics. That's what they train for.
Yeah.
I really believe, and yeah, I really want it to be the best. So I struggle with Olympic football. Does anyone actually watch it anyway? Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting. I think, speaking of football, we should move on in a second to football.
What a segue, by the way.
But
talking about football that people do watch.
But I'm interested to see your thoughts. If you've watched so far in this video, comment in the comments below about what you think about the Olympics and like what sports should you think should be included. What do you think should be included? We can raise a discussion about it. We can. Yeah, it's on for the next few weeks, so we can talk about it. Moving on. We're both Chelsea fans. Chelsea have been hot in the press. Pre-season has started.
2-2 with Wrexham.
I'm not going to start there.
I don't care about pre-season, to be fair.
I'm not going to start there because I think there's a bigger fish to fry.
You told me you had a rant.
I'm going to go on one. I'm going to do it.
He's going to go on a rant?
I'm going to do it.
I'm just going to take 2.
So, before we went out to America, and then when we got to America, a headline broke that Trevor Chalobah would not be joining the Chelsea squad and has been left at home.
I heard about that.
And has been left at home. And Axel Disasi is gone instead.
Big Trevor, we love you.
I'm sorry, but the guy's been at Chelsea for about 20 odd years now. He's an academy graduate. He was our best defender last season, genuinely. Like the last 10 games of the season, he was our best defender. And you leave him at home. It is disgraceful. And it's a clear sign that we're trying that the owners and the sporting directors are trying to push him out the club. I absolutely guarantee you, if it was Enzo Maresca's choice, he would be in the squad because there is absolutely no way that Trevor Chalobah is worse than Axel Disasi, who, by the way, is terrible. Like compared to Trevor Chalobah, Axel Disasi is a shadow of a man.
Well, Trevor Chalobah was our best defender last season.
Yes, and he played for 10 games, and he was our best defender. It's just
we looked so good when he was in the team.
Axel Disasi didn't even make the squad at the last game of the last season for a reason. Now, don't get me wrong. I get Wesley Fofana's now getting back to match fitness, and he's a very good defender. Takes priority. Badiashile, Levi Colwill. I can make the argument for those who've just signed Tosin.
Yeah.
But, like, realistically, Trevor Chalobah, I think, is better than Tosin. I think he's better than Axel Disasi. I think he's better than Badiashile. Arguably better than Fofana and Colwill as well. And I just can't believe he's not there. And it's just disgraceful treatment of a player who clearly wants to be at the club, who's clearly going to fight for his place. I hope, and I really, really hope he turns around and says no to leaving. I really do. I hope he just sticks it out. And then, because shock, I guarantee you, if he does that, 6 months down the line, or like a few months into the season, he'll be the starting centre-back week in, week out. Because we realise how good he actually is.
And injuries.
We signed him on a long-term deal, like, not even like a season and a half ago, to 2028. And then we're trying to get rid of him. Like, why did we even sign Axel Disasi in the first place? It's not like centre back we were short. You know, don't get me wrong. I like the fact that Aki Apong is in the preseason tour. I like the fact he was playing minutes. I like that. I think that's good. Interesting enough, Axel Disasi wasn't in the squad for the first game of preseason either. Yeah. Neither was Mikhailo Mudryk. I think that was an injury.
Yeah.
But Disasi wasn't in the squad. I know he's fit because there's been videos of him training. So I think it's ridiculous, and I think it's an absolute disgrace. Jordi Petrovic looks like he's getting pushed out the club as well because he's not on the tour.
Is he not?
They say he's injured, but he still hasn't joined up with the squad. So I very much doubt it. But that brings you on to the next topic: is we've almost finalised the signing of another goalkeeper.
Oh, please tell me it's Jan Oblak.
No.
Oh.
As you can expect, it is a goalkeeper you've never going to have heard of before.
Is he 15?
He's 23.
Oh, okay. He's older than I thought he'd be.
His name is Filip Jorgensen.
Okay.
He's a Swedish goalkeeper. He plays for Villarreal currently. There has been a lot of debate on social media about this guy. And I've seen some people saying we've signed like the up-and-coming Edison. I've seen some people saying we've signed Kepa 2. Let's go through some statistics. He has the best short passing range in La Liga.
What? That's not a statistic I care about for a goalkeeper.
I know, but he has the best short passing in statistic. And the way Maresca plays his football is the goalkeeper is very heavily involved in build-up. So they need to be good on the ball, right? And we've both seen Robert Sanchez on the ball. And let's be honest, we do not want Robert Sanchez. Correct?
I'm going to hate this game, aren't I?
Correct? We don't want to see Robert Sanchez in goal. End of. That's just a fact. No. I'd much rather see Jordi Petrovic in goal than Robert Sanchez.
Yeah, he did
That's
all right.
An absolute guarantee. But Jordi Petrovic's distribution is shit, so I'm not surprised. But anyway...
Bad as Sanchez, though, is he? He's not that bad. Was he that bad?
I think Robert Sanchez is horrific.
Yeah, no, Sanchez is awful. Petrovic's not that bad.
With the ball at his feet, I don't think he's very good. I don't think he's very good. I actually think Robert Sanchez is actually a better passer, but the problem is Sanchez makes so many fucking mistakes. But he can get hit a pass better.
Because he puts shoes on the wrong feet.
But anyway, he has the best saves percentage rate in La Liga. So shots faced that are expected to be a goal, he has the best amount of saves. That's a good stat.
I don't care about stats.
The caveat about this guy is the fact that Villarreal had the worst defence in the league last season and conceded the most shots. Therefore, he would have the most saves because he's conceded the most. They've conceded the most shots.
Basically, the Spanish version of Jordan Pickford.
In a way, he has a terrible percentage of claiming crosses in the air.
Great,
which is terrible for the Premier League, and he struggles on set pieces.
So basically, he's a terrible goalkeeper.
It's literally Kepa.
He's basically a midfielder who plays in goal.
It's literally Kepa. No, it's Kepa who can play the ball better. Think about it, because Kepa is alright at making actual normal saves.
No, Kepa has hands made of tracing paper.
But anyway, Jorgensen doesn't have hands made of tracing paper, but
better not have.
But he's not tall.
Again, why would you be tall as a goalkeeper? That's not something you'd look for in a goalkeeper.
He's 6'1", I think, for
Tallness,
a goal. He's 6'1" for a goalkeeper, which is still a bit short.
Yeah, why wouldn't you be tall if you're a goalie?
He's only going to cost us around £20 million.
Oh, only? Okay, cool.
So in terms of retrospective, but just to put it into perspective, we've got £135 million worth of goalkeepers at the club right now. We've spent 65 plus million on goalkeepers in 2 seasons.
Is Kepa still our goalie?
No, Kepa's in the club, but obviously
we've not sold him though.
No, we're trying to.
Huh.
He's either going to go back to Madrid or go to Al Ittihad, apparently.
Are we the worst run club in the world at the moment? Maybe except for Bordeaux.
And Birmingham, maybe.
Yeah. We're up there though, aren't we?
I don't think we're badly run. What I would like to point out is that I think that I get the model we're going for.
You don't think we're badly run? Can we just journey back to that statement?
I'm going to explain.
Okay, I'm waiting for this.
I don't think we're badly run. I think there's some terrible decisions have been made, but I also think there's been some incredibly good decisions that have been made, and I think there's some positive things that are coming as part of this. And I think it's a clear indictment that the fact that we have American owners who are learning on the job, and I think it's very obvious that they're learning on the job. I think that I like the fact we're signing some of the younger players we're signing. Not as many as we're signing, but I like the fact that we're going for the best talents in the world at a young age, because the other big clubs do that. The clubs that are successful, that are really good, do that anyway. Look at Madrid, look at Barcelona, look at Manchester City, look at Man United. Like they go and sign these younger players at a young age and build them through the team. But that's how they become really good, right? That's why you have Vinicius Junior like absolutely excelling at Real Madrid, and you have, you know.
However, they have good established older players to bed them in with.
Yes, no, that I agree with.
Half of their team is already world class Champions League winning guys, so they can afford to have 3 or 4 young guys in the team. We are only young guys who have no idea how to win or play football properly, and you just can't trust them to do anything really.
Yeah,
they're all just too young and inexperienced and naive, and they just play crazy football where they don't listen to tactics. They run around like headless chickens.
Yeah.
They all make too many mistakes. You have no experience in the team at all. We can't do that.
I agree.
I remember a team where we had like 7 national team captains playing for us.
Yeah.
It's like 7 of them.
Yeah.
Drogba, Terry, John Obi Mikel, Ballack.
I'm trying to find something just
Peter
to clarify.
Cech.
Yeah.
That's a team that you can hang your hat on. You go 1-0 up, you've got 5 minutes to go. Those guys know how to clear it out. Mm-hmm. They will just shut up shop, just see the game out. Professional, world-class players. Now we're just looking at a bunch of kids running around, and I struggle with it. Maybe I'm living in a different world. Maybe I need to just move on to 2024. And
I think
it's a new Chelsea.
The club we love is not
finish 8th.
The club we love is not the club we have, and I think that's very important. I think a lot of big decisions have been made. Sorry, but while I'm talking, I'm trying to find something that I saw the other day that was really interesting.
Fucking America's ruined it. Ruined everything.
There is good ideas, and I think that I'm not going to dispute that. I think there genuinely is some good ideas in there. But I also think there's some terrible ideas, and I don't think they're justified as to why we're making those decisions. Bear with me while I try and find this. I think if you actually go through all the players we've signed that are over the age of 25, there is a genuine worry about the amount of success we've had with it, right? And I think that's a lot less than what we've had with the success we've had with signing younger players. And that's the tweet I'm trying to find. Someone did a whole thread on Twitter going through it all, and I'm just trying to find it.
But if you look at those players, though, immediately Raheem Sterling springs to mind. Mm-hmm. He hadn't been good for 6 seasons anyway. Maybe not 6. Maybe not 6.
That's a really
but
big
he was
exaggeration.
not. He wasn't at the peak of his powers. We didn't sign a Raheem Sterling who was running past people, scoring 20 goals a season. We signed a Raheem Sterling who wasn't really getting in the City team. Didn't really do that much when he played. And then we were like, oh yeah, he'll be brilliant. And he just wasn't. And then, so yeah, I don't know.
I think, well, anyway, I could go through the whole list, but I think I can't find it. But essentially, if you go through the players we signed that were over the age of 25 when we signed them, so you go through Danny Drinkwater, Morata, list out some Koulibaly, just go through the list of players we signed over the age of 25, and it was like we've signed like 27 players, I think, in the last 8 years of players over the age of 25, and I think it was 23.
Yeah, but then you go through the ones we have.
27, and other than Kieran Dewsbury Hall, I'm not going to count. We had 4 players who haven't played a game for a club yet over the age of 25, so we can't include them. And then when you had 17 bad signings and 7 that were good.
Yeah, but that's all you need.
No, but out of 23 signings, we had 7 good ones.
Yeah, that's all you need.
No,
but you get 7 great players.
No, but
you win the league.
No, but great is a largely satirical. We're talking about successful players for the club, not necessarily good players. Like Olivier Giroud, for example, was one of the players.
Fucking good.
He was a good player, but he wasn't the
he
best.
He won European Cup. He's fucking brilliant.
But
love Olivier Giroud.
You get my point.
What's wrong with Olivier Giroud?
Nothing. I love Olivier Giroud, but what I'm saying, that was few and far between.
I'd rather have him now.
Well, so would I. Yeah, but I'm it's few and far between who we're getting. And I just think that if you actually run through, I want to find this tweet. I'm going to find it.
How is Morata still playing for Spain, by the way?
And playing really well, by the way.
He wasn't that good, was he? He was alright.
In general, I think he's just a handful, isn't he? So I think. But in sad news, Malang Sarr left the club. That's depressing. Malang Sarr. Remember him?
Classic Pochettino. Who's this? Who's this player?
Yeah, genuinely was like, I have
know
no
Malang
idea
Sarr.
who he is. Bloody
Is that sad news?
Malang Sarr. Huh?
Is that sad news? I don't know if that's sad news.
He left on a free. What? He was on £100 a week at Chelsea.
Yeah, to be fair, gets him off the wage bill, I suppose.
Um,
No, it's good he's gone off the wage bill. This financial fair play thing. Do you think it's ruining football?
No.
Clubs are just having to sell all their academy graduates.
But that's because
Can't we keep some of them?
That's because they were poorly run in the first place, Scott.
Well,
That's on them.
well, because we've spent billions of pounds on absolute useless players.
Yeah. I'm not going to dispute that, of course, but
So now we have to sell all our favourite players to probably our rivals.
yep.
Who's going to Atletico Madrid? Conor Gallagher, I heard today.
Well, there's rumoured Conor Gallagher
I
50
heard
million.
that. I could see that though. I think Simeone
He fits the Simeone team really well.
He will thrive there.
But that's not the point. We don't want to lose him. So
No, I will go though for sure.
sadly,
Just financial fair play just means that he's got to go. Like him, Big Trev. Do you think they sell Reece James as well?
no.
You know,
I think Reece James and Levi Colwill are untouchable
I think
players right
Chilwell
now.
will go.
I want him to go.
I heard he might go to Man United.
I wouldn't be upset. He's not very good. You know, I think that's the problem.
It's not very good.
Well, he's not anymore. He used to be. Oh, I found the thread. I finally found it. Right. So this podcast's been a bit of a mess, by the way. But since 2015, these are the players that we've signed over the age of 25. Okay.
Right. Go on, list them out. I'll tell you whether they're good or not.
Radamel Falcao.
Yeah, love that guy. He was terrible for us, but he's really
So
good.
bad. Asmir Begovic.
I mean,
bad.
Yeah, no, he's fine. Backup goalie, fine.
Pedro. Big tick.
Good, yeah,
Love
love Pedro.
Pedro.
He was all right. Put him in my fantasy team.
Papi Djilabodji.
Sorry. Bless you.
Alexander Pato.
Yes, Pato.
Played 2 games.
Why didn't he play more games?
Was-
He was so good when he was at AC Milan.
And then he came to us and was terrible. Anyway, Marco Emilia.
Who?
Yep. Kante. Good.
Good.
Alonso.
Sir.
Alonso. Good. David Luiz.
You
Good.
say good for Kante.
But
The best
sorry,
for Kante.
incredible.
Please.
Eduardo.
Who?
Random backup goalkeeper.
Okay.
Danny Drinkwater.
Yeah.
Willie Caballero.
Yeah, Willie was all
Yeah,
right.
Willie
Like
was
Willie.
good.
Good.
Jorginho. You hated him.
I hate Jorginho.
But as a Chelsea signing, he played a lot of games for the club. Won a couple of trophies with us. Really good player.
I struggle with him.
Higuain. Shit. Rob Green. Shit.
Yeah, we did sign Rob Green, didn't we?
Zappacosta. Shit. Ziyech.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah, he was a struggle.
Thiago Silva.
Ah.
Amazing.
Oh.
Edu Mendy. For what we got out of Edu Mendy.
Yeah, Mendy, brilliant.
Great signing.
Brilliant. Love Mendy.
Lukaku. Horrific.
He can go.
Saul. Horrific.
Who?
Saul.
Oh, right, you got him on loan.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't too bad, was he? Oh, no. He got all right. He got all right.
Bettinelli. Horrific. Hasn't really played, has he?
No, that's not...
Sterling. Shite. Koulibaly. Shite. Zakaria. Played 3 games. Aubameyang. Shite. And Nkunku doesn't really point in counting Nkunku. He hasn't played enough games. Robert Sanchez. Shite. Disassi. Shite. So that's 29 deals, 7 successes, 17 disappointments. And that's why
Some of those are unfair.
I really don't think that you can classify this like that when you have that level of, you know, signings and you can go through that. And then all the Clear Lake signings I've mentioned that were over the age of 25 have all been bad.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't sign people over 25.
No. But
Just because you had a few
But
awful
what I would say-
ex-girlfriends doesn't mean you don't have ex-girlfriends anymore.
But what I would say is that they had much better track when they went for the younger players who have done better. Malo Gusto being a really good example, or
I mean, that's wine.
Chukwuemeka.
He's played 3 times.
He's class though, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah. Noni Madueke, who I'm a big fan of. Again, another one of the younger
Yeah,
signings.
I like him.
You know,
I don't like his attitude sometimes.
Yeah, but I think that's his arrogance a little bit. Nicholas Jackson, I think, has been a good signing. He has been. Come on, mate. I think Badia Shield's a good player. I like Badia Shield.
Yeah, I like him.
You know, Kukurea.
Best left back in the world, apparently.
Right at the moment, he is. Yeah. I still don't like Kukurea, but yeah, it's fine. Whereas Fafana, I know he's barely played, but again, when he has played, he's been good.
Yeah, he's good.
So what I'm trying to say is, like, you can see there is some thought process to these signings that are the under age 25. You do get the random ones like the Mark Hughes of the world, who, by the way, was fucking great in that game against Wrexham. Like, genuinely was really good.
Oh, that sentence is
Like,
painful to hear.
he was really good. Like, no, he was like...
Mark Goo was good against Wrexham.
But Broja wasn't.
Yeah, Broja's not great against anyone, though, is he?
But what I'm trying to say is, like, Broja's been way more established in football for a longer time, and Mark Hughes performed better than him in 45 minutes
Why
than
do we
Broja
still
did.
have Broja?
Well, I don't think he'll be here, for very much longer. No. But I just, I think there are some good ideas. I like the multi-club model. I think that all the big clubs have it.
I hate it. You can't own 2 clubs or 3 clubs or 4 clubs.
It's
That's
good.
a joke.
It's a good thing for Chelsea.
It's a joke for football, though.
But it's a good thing for Chelsea. Long term, it's a good thing for Chelsea. The things they've got wrong this ownership is, well, clearly the staff. If Neil Bath and people like that are leaving the club, that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's a big problem.
Yeah.
They haven't got the stadium sorted, which I thought they would have by now, or at least got some plans in place. And sponsorships. We're still without a shirt sponsor for the upcoming season.
Yeah, he's a bit of a mess, isn't it? That shirt sponsorships are just... I quite like football shirts without sponsors.
Yeah, but we need it for the finances it brings to the club. We need it.
Buy your football shirts now, everyone, and don't get a sponsor.
I think the problem, what Chelsea are doing clearly is they're holding out for a very specific price, and they're just not willing to go anything lower.
No one's going to pay for it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Infinite Athlete end up again on the middle of the shirt because again we kind of own it. So
what even is Infinite Athlete?
It's like a AI intelligence thing for athletes.
Yeah.
It's basically like just to help with sports performance and stuff. From an American company that we have part interest in. So it's a bit of a cheat hole to the system. But long term we haven't got a shirt sponsorship. There was a lot of talk of Riyadh Air being our shirt sponsor, but they didn't come through.
Awful.
But yeah, there's some problems with the set to say. However, in the pre-season game, we've played one game. I don't want to delve too deep into it because it's one pre-season game. We saw some nice little elements. Did you watch the highlights?
I watched the highlights.
Yeah, I didn't watch the full game either. It was 3:30 in the morning. You got no chance of me watching that. But I watched the highlights and I thought there were some good moments. Again, Mark Gue I thought was brilliant, and from what I've heard in training, he's actually been one of our better players, which I find quite interesting.
You can kind of see what Enzo's trying to do with the team. There was a few good link-ups. They were starting to show a shape. They were starting to play decent football. I mean, still, tactically...
I think you can tell that the place that had the biggest problem with what they were doing was the defence.
Yeah, tactically they're a bit all over the place at the back.
But I think that's normal because they're defending in a very specific shape, and I think that's probably what... Like, you remember Antonio Conte's 3 at the back, in that pre-season was really bad. And then come the season, it ended up being really good. So I'm hoping we follow a similar trend here. I thought that Tyreek George was fantastic when he played. When the highlights I saw from him, I thought Reece James and Malo Gusto in central midfield was a nice addition.
Yeah,
I like it. The only problem I have with that is they're both so good going forward and getting balls into the box, but that we lose that.
We lose that outlet on the right to sling crosses in.
But what I'm hoping is that when Cucurella is back in the team, he inverts the left back and has them being the ones that go out wide because it makes more sense. They're better.
Reece has played in midfield before. He played
for Wigan.
For Wigan a season in the Championship in midfield. So we know he can do it. He's got.
Yeah.
I think he's got the football intelligence to be able to play midfield in centre midfield. So
I've also been finding out. I also found out that Ben Chilwell doesn't train with the defenders. He trains with the wingers. Ben Chilwell's done. Let's just point out that Ben Chilwell has not got a future at the club.
Is he trying to be Gareth Bale?
But just the worst Gareth Bale impression.
Like an Audi Gareth Bale. Like a Lidl version.
The Nissan Gareth Bale.
No, like a Lidl, like awful Costco Gareth Bale.
No, Costco's good, man.
Okay.
The Nissan Local.
No.
Or Premier.
That's nicer.
Nika Local, whatever it's called.
Nicer.
Nicer Local.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Nika. Like Nica.
Nisa.
Oh, Nisa Local. Sorry.
Nicer.
Yeah. Local.
This is a rogue podcast.
This is the loosest.
It's a good one, but it's a rogue one. Hope you guys like random topics, by the way.
This is really getting really out.
Let us know your local random supermarket that you've got.
Yeah, Co-op. It's the Co-op Gareth Bale.
Mine's a Today's Local. It's really good.
Nice.
I have some random Fanta flavours in there.
I have no idea what the one on top of the road is called. But yeah,
we'll take a trip up there after.
Let's go. We'll vlog the trip. Yeah, it's a long, arduous journey up 5 minutes up the road.
It's been a long day today, by the way.
It has
guys.
been a long day.
I've done a lot of golf lessons today. I'm fairly tired.
But yeah, I think look, it's interesting. I think Chilwell's done. Like ultimately, I don't think I think he'll leave this summer. When push comes to shove. Interestingly enough, Renato Vega, it seems to be like the guy who they invert into that sort of left centre back role, along with Cucurella when he's back. Caicedo's already joined up with the team, which is nice. He'll be hopefully playing in the next game. Enzo is due back on the 29th.
Do we need to talk about Enzo?
Do you know what? I genuinely mean this. I think it's been handled really well.
Yeah, what the club have done.
And I think what Maresca's come out and said, as you know, he said, look, yes, he said it. He's apologised. The club's released a statement. That's the end of it. Like, everything else will be dealt with in-house. Like, you don't need to know about it. And, like, we don't need to know about it. You know, Reece James, Madueke have come out and spoken about it. And they've said, look, Enzo will be back in the squad. If there is an issue, we'll sort it.
Yeah.
But he's our player. And, you know...
Fisticuffs in the car park.
And if that, well, you know, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, but then I saw John David McKell did his podcast, and I saw a clip from that with and he was saying, look, what he's done is wrong, and he says those French players or like the people who are offended by it don't have to like him,
no,
but they do have to be his teammate,
yeah,
and they do have to be professional. And I do think it's really clear he clearly didn't mean to like. I think in the moment he clearly doesn't realise what he's saying. And the impact it has. I don't think the impact, he knows what he's saying, maybe the impact, he doesn't really know what it has. Because in that moment, all you're doing is singing a song celebrating the Copa America.
You must know.
I'm not trying to justify it, by the way.
You must know.
Because it's wrong. And we just said this in the last podcast. We disagree with it, and it's very bad. But he did apologise.
Racism is bad. Hot take.
But what I do find really odd is he's the only player being investigated for it.
The whole team was singing it, though.
Not the whole team, but there is so many other players in that video, and he's the only one that got in any shit for it.
Yeah,
I find that.
Well, maybe
nuts.
they are doing internal investigations into it, or maybe they just don't care.
Regardless, I find that nuts.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, that's the way it is. But look, I think ultimately, I don't think it'll be a problem. I think everyone will be grown up enough to have a conversation when they get back. Enzo Maresca has to speak to Enzo Fernandez. They'll probably have a squad meeting where Fernandez has to go and apologise to everybody, and you know, they'll hash it out. They'll speak about it. They'll tell him why it's wrong.
Do a barbecue or something.
I reckon there'll be some kind of like piece that Chelsea will then do with the Say No to Racism campaign with that situation in mind.
Yeah, he should have to do something. He should have to pay some sort of dues.
I think there'll be. Well, he'll definitely get fined.
Just so he knows that you can't do that.
He'll definitely get fined, but I think there's some work to be done there. And yeah, it's a shame because I think Enzo Fernandez, looking at the way we play, I think suits it really well. Like, I think him Caicedo and Romeo Lavia. It's like. It's like we've got another new signing for the season. He looked really sharp in the games.
Lavia
the game that he played.
Coming in.
Fingers fucking crossed. There's no more injuries.
We're gonna win the league. No, we're not. I'm gonna finish 10th.
The only thing I worry about is these. We've got 4 more games to play in America. 5 games in 2 weeks. We're travelling to a different state for each game, and the pitches are terrible.
It's a joke of a preseason tour, by the way. Preseason touring in America. Playing that many games in 2 weeks.
In that many states.
In that many different states. Just travel. Watch them come out and lose the first 4 games and then be like, oh, we're all tired. Yeah, no shit. Fuck you doing in America?
I think it's not. I do think... And also, we've got a Club World Cup to worry about in a year's time.
When's that? January?
No, Club World Cup I think's in after the season. So we'll have the Premier League season and then we go straight into the Club World Cup.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that's going to be horrible on the squad. Luckily, we have got a big squad with lots of big players. But
I need to look up because I know they're expanding it, and there's like 25 teams or something.
There's loads, There's
like loads of teams.
Like City and Madrid are in it.
Yeah, but I didn't know what the format was.
No,
normally
I'm not
it's in January or
either.
February after Christmas, and it's like 6 teams, and it's hunky dory. You go out there, play 2 games, and win the World Championship.
Yeah.
But not anymore, apparently. We've got a whole new
format with
FIFA
it being a way
money-making tournament
with a way bigger system. Yeah, it's interesting, but I think
I hate it.
I mean, it'll be cool to be part of.
I hate it. Hate it. It's just money-making. It's like this extended Champions League. The 5th place team is getting in the Champions League, fuck me. Well,
Well,
why
it's
not
going-
everyone? Why
it's-
not just bundle everyone in there and make loads of
Well,
money off
it's
of it?
going into
It's
a
the
league
worst.
table format now.
But it's not, though, because you play like 6 teams in a league format, and then like they work.
No, you play more than that. We play more. I think you played 10 teams in that system.
So half the league.
And then
What's the fucking point?
Then I don't get why they're changing the format at all. But
Champions League should go back to how it was before. Only the champions from each country get to play for the.
the top 4.
No. Only the champions. I think only the champions should play in the Champions League. One team from each country and the defending champions can go back in and defend it. I'm okay with that. But only the league winners from each country go into a maybe small league phase and then knockout. And then 2nd to 5th, or whatever you want, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, go in the UEFA Cup, the Europa League. So it makes the Europa League unbelievably good because you've got great teams in the Europa League. People actually want to watch Europa League games. And the Champions League actually means something. You can't finish 5th in your league and then win the Champions League.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that being a Chelsea fan. Like, Scott.
I don't care.
Scott,
What?
both our Champions League
Yeah, I don't care. We shouldn't have been in it.
Come with finishing outside of the top 4.
No, I don't care.
Like,
yeah, we finished like 15th.
I agree. I agree. Finishing 5th, you shouldn't get the top. But I think the top 4 makes sense. The top 4 teams in the best
Why?
country come together to be the Champions League.
Whoever celebrates being 4th,
No,
apart from Tottenham.
But think about it. Well, we need to celebrate if we get it. This
I don't want to
bloody
be 4th.
rate.
I want to be league.
But anyway, I think
I don't like it.
I can tell. I can tell.
Stupid. Don't call it the Champions League. Just call it the European Cup. Go old school. Champions League. You're not champions. You finish 4th. You're not champions. Why are you in the Champions League?
Okay, but we would not have won either of them. Either of the Champions League we'd have won if we were on that ruling.
Okay.
Oh, so you're our two biggest trophies in our history.
I didn't enjoy us winning the Champions League. I just said if I was in charge of FIFA now, I would revert the format back to the old format, and I would make the Europa League. I'd make the Europa League better because no one cares about the Europa League.
But what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of clubs in Europe that need the money. And ultimately, that is why they're there, is because they generate money because of the TV rights for those smaller clubs and like the other countries. The Europa League is a format to watch the other random teams in Europe get a chance to play.
I hate the fact that football's become just completely solely about money now.
Well, they have to stay afloat. I
Solely
agree.
about money.
But it is cool to see.
They don't have to. They just pay the players less and they'll stay afloat.
But in the Europa League, it is cool to see like the random teams from different countries beat big teams. Like it's about the FA Cup for the Champions League, or Europa League. Sorry, it's cool.
It never happens.
The Conference League is ridiculous. I think that's an absolute joke of a league. I don't see the point in that because it's literally like the participants.
Fun to see the little teams like West Ham beating people.
Well, we're in that this year, so we're the little team.
Nah, we're a big team in a little pond.
Well, we better bloody win it then, because if we lose this, it's going to be an absolute
We ain't
embarrassment.
gonna win. We ain't gonna lose. There's no way we go into the Conference League and don't win it without losing a game.
I really
won't
don't
lose a
have
game.
the same optimism as you.
I'd be shocked if we let a goal in.
We'll definitely let a goal in.
No,
Like,
we'll win it. We'll win the
It'll be
Conference
like-
League without letting.
it'll be like a 4-1 or a 5-1.
No. If they let a goal in, I'll be fuming. Mate, they're playing against teams where the centre forward is going to be working in like Testo or something, and there's no way. There's no way. If we lose a game, I'll be fuming. If we draw a game, I'll be fuming.
Yeah. But,
Mate.
But I will concede a goal for sure.
Nah.
We will. There's just no way we don't.
Nah.
But look, I think it's an interesting one. Our next game is we're playing Celtic. I think is our next game.
Yes.
It
I believe
is
so.
for the pre-season tour.
Don't know where though. Houston? No, that's wrong.
In a state in America, we're playing
Yeah.
Celtic. That'll be an interesting game. Hopefully, we'll start to see a bit more togetherness in the squad, a bit more gelling. I think it's very hard to judge the lineups right now because we'll probably be 2 teams of 11 again.
Yeah.
But I think that surprising. Actually, I think like the team's already like looking like I would like kind of already know who I'm going to pick going forward. To be honest with you, in that 11, based on what the squad we have now, not what could happen or who leaves. Whatever.
It'll be interesting to see who out of the squad deals with the tactical change and Enzo Ball, what he wants to do,
That's something I hate, by the way.
I know.
Manager
that's why I
Ball.
said it. Manager Ball. It'll be interesting to see who deals with that transition easiest and who fits into his style of play best, and what he wants to do with those guys that don't.
They go. That Chelsea are very, very, very clearly building a squad for him.
Yeah.
No, in a way we didn't do for Pochettino, in a way we didn't do for Potter, in a way we didn't do for
more than 10 games.
Well, they're taking a pretty fucking expensive risk.
I would not be shocked if he was sacked by Christmas.
No. This ownership don't do that.
I know.
They don't do that. They'll hold him out and then sack him at the end of the season and bring in a whole other manager with a whole new philosophy.
They'll sack him with 10 games to go and bring Frank Lampard in.
Bring Jose Mourinho back.
Oh, wow. Stop it.
No, that would be terrible.
No, it wouldn't.
With the squad we have, Jose Mourinho is not the manager we want for that.
I'd have him back.
I wouldn't. I love him, but no.
In a heartbeat.
Do you know who would have back? It's Thomas Tuchel. I love that.
Thomas!
Bring him back.
Tommy! If you're listening to our podcast...
Baghdad Agbali, admit you're wrong and bring Tommy Tuchel back.
We know you love our podcast, Thomas Tuchel. Please, come back.
But no, Scott, I think, that's a very interesting and fighty topic about Chelsea. We've literally talked about for 25 minutes. I think we could go on for a lot more. Let's get your score predictions. Chelsea-Celtic.
Oh, like 0-0, probably.
I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea. I'm going to be optimistic. I think we're going to win the game.
I was being optimistic.
Yeah, well... It's going to be a long, long day to be a Chelsea fan this season. Let's see how it goes. Have you got anything else you want to speak about, Scott?
No.
No.
Yes, but no, not now.
I think that wraps it up. Guys, thank you for joining this very chaotic podcast.
We love you. We appreciate you.
It's probably been the messiest one we've done so far.
So, no, I like the messy ones. They're a bit random.
So disorganised.
Not disorganised. Organised chaos.
It was.
We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're professionals, people.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I am.
But I'm definitely not.
That's my job title.
I'm a professional.
Professionality.
Yeah. But no, guys, thank you ever so much for watching us. It's been an absolute pleasure again. We hope you enjoyed the Beaven and Wright podcast. We will see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Good night.